Hey everybody, it's me Chris. I'm back over here in the kitchen, and today I'm going to show you how I sharpen my knives. And you know, I get a lot of people that say, hey, you have good knife skills, but you can't really have good knife skills if you don't have first of all a good knife, and if you don't have a properly sharpened knife. The two kind of go hand in hand. It's like saying you're a good driver, but your car doesn't work and you can't really go anywhere. It's the same thing. So first I want to show you some of the knives that I use. Take a look at what I got here. This is a cleaver. This is my Chinese style chef knife. This is a boning knife. I use this to trim chicken and cut some meat and cut fruits that I need to make some sharp cuts on. This is my large 10-inch chef knife. This is my higher end chef knife, an 8-inch. It's got the premium, really nice handle. It's got a good weight and balance. This is about in the $90 range. This is my regular 8-inch industrial style knife, cheap knife. It's about $12, but it's excellent for the kitchen. This is my Japanese style blade. You can see it's got a much thinner profile than the other ones. Great for slicing. And this is just a standard restaurant style chef knife, but it's carbon steel, German steel. It holds a really nice edge. It's very, very affordable, and a nice heavy duty handle. About a $20 knife. My paring knife here I use to cut vegetables, to peel vegetables. And then this is a serrated bread knife. Again, about $20 range you can get in most places. It's excellent for slicing bread and meat and stuff like that. So those are the knives I use, and now I'm going to show you how I sharpen them. Okay, so having a good knife, obviously very important to being a great home cook. And there are a couple options to keep them sharp, and one of them is a lot of supermarkets nowadays will offer a knife sharpening service, or if you have somebody in your neighborhood that does it, I'd highly recommend that. You'll find most butchers will have a sharpening service. They don't really sharpen their own, but for the home cook there are a couple different options. I want to just show you a few pieces of equipment I have here. This here, most people think is for sharpening knives, but this is actually a honing stick. This isn't really going to sharpen the knife. This is used once you have a sharp knife to help keep the edge. And the way it works is you hold your hand below the safety edge here and bring your knife, start at one edge, down across and on the other side, and it's going to help you to keep the edge once you have a sharp knife. This is a whetstone. This is a sharpening stone, and you can see here there are 1,000 and a 6,000. That's the grit. So you would start on the 1,000 side. You place it, soak it in your water, follow your instructions, and you run the knife on both sides on that edge, and then you flip it and do the same thing on the other side. And that's one way to do it. So, problem with the whetstone, first of all, they wear. Second of all, it's a lot of work. So the solution I've found is, and probably the best option for me anyway, since I use my knives every day and I'm constantly sharpening, is that I invested in an electric sharpener. And this is the best one I could find. I've had a couple of them. This is a Chef's Choice Trizer Edge, and it comes with 3 stages of sharpening, and it's going to give you ultimately a 15-degree edge, which is going to make your knife sharp like a razor blade, and it's super easy to use. So that's what I'm going to demonstrate today. I'm going to sharpen this knife here and show you how it works. So for the electric sharpener, it's very easy to use, and that's what I like about it most. A bit of an investment. This one's about $160, but you're going to get years and years of use out of it, even if you use your knives as frequently as I do. And let me just show you how it works. You always want to follow the instructions because there are different instructions for different style of knives, but basically there are 3 different slots here for sharpening, and inside each one is a wheel with a stone that turns. It's made out of diamond, and it really cuts a nice edge. So number 1, Number 1 is for reestablishing the edge of the knife, and then number 2 and 3 are finishing and polishing the edge. So the way this works is very simple. You take your knife, you're going to start on one side, and it just fits right in, and you're going to drag it through, and then you'll go on to the other side, and you'll drag it through, and you're going to repeat that as instructed in the instructions with the model you have. So different models will have different frequencies for sharpening. I've tried this one several times. I kind of have it down pat, and my rule of thumb is I'm going to pass it through number 1 15 times on each side, and I'm going to pass it through number 2 10, and pass it through number 3 5 times, and that's going to give me the perfect edge, and I'll show you how I do it. Okay, so I'm going to turn the power on. I'm going to start to sharpen my knife. Okay, now that was once on both sides. I'm going to do the same thing 14 more times. Okay, so I passed it through number 1 15 times on each side, and now I'm going to turn the power back on. I'm going to go 10 times on each side of the knife on setting number 2. Okay, so that's 10 times on each side for setting 2. I'm going to turn the power on and pass it through 5 times on each side in setting 3. Okay, so I'm done sharpening my knife. It only took a few minutes, and the great thing about these electric sharpeners is that they're so easy. They have the guide set up for you. You can do it with one hand and just put them through. And I want to just show you how sharp this knife is now. I got a couple of small ripe tomatoes here, and I'll just take this large one and just show you how easily the knife cuts through after it's been sharpened. I mean, a lot of cases you can sharpen your knife. It'll be better than new with these type of sharpeners. You can see how thin I'm slicing this. It doesn't squish the tomato. I mean, this thing is like a razor blade. So that's the way I do it. Again, there are many ways you can get your knives sharpened, but it's very important to have a sharp knife, especially if you're cutting as frequently as I am. You want a sharp blade. It's safer in the kitchen. A dull knife will slip and increase your chances of getting cut. So if you can afford to invest in an electric one, that's great. If not, you find the way that works best for you, but make sure you have a way to take care of your knives and keep them sharp. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel.